guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Leslie and I like to post lifestyle, budgeting, and motherhood type of content here on the Mother Plan. So for today's video, you guys, I need to break down my paycheck from January 13th. I am behind. Today is the 19th, but I really need to get this done. So if you're interested in seeing how I break down this paycheck, then stay tuned. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and start by putting our date. This is for January, what is this? January 13th. And we're covering the bills from the 13th through the 26th. Okay, so first, let me say, you guys know all the issues I've been having with my job. So this paycheck was actually supposed to be a regular paycheck, right? I don't know how they're doing this stuff. It is incorrect. The paycheck ended up being more than what it's supposed to be, but not enough to cover what they already owe. And I talked to HR. They're supposed to be cutting a second check to cover what they already owe, but they said it would be like an overpayment. So they're going to reconcile all the paychecks of everybody who were overpaid and underpaid. It's this whole big mess, but they told us that starting for this pay period, everything was fixed, and moving forward that we would be good. So this is the last paycheck that it will be off, and then I'm supposed to get a separate paycheck for the amount that is owed. So I know that was really confusing because it was kind of confusing for me at first. So I was on the fence about adding this as income because technically my check was supposed to be around $1,500 to $1,600, but it ended up being $2,240. So I don't really know how to go about that. And I talked to my husband. We just figured we'll just go ahead and budget the amount that it is now, and then if they deduct down the line, we'll just kind of budget for that shorter paycheck. So I don't know. Once they figure everything out, I don't think it'll be too much that will owe back. I just don't understand why they're making it so much harder on themselves to reconcile everyone's paycheck that was incorrect. But they said this was the easiest process for them. With that being said, it was supposed to be $1,500. It ended up being $2,240. And normally I would be like, well, fine, that's what they want to do. But, you know, it's not like I worked for that money. We would have to pay it back. Because since they've already correcting the check that they already owed me, it's going to be a separate check. It's just too much, to be honest. I don't even know. I just said, okay, I'm going to look at everything once they do their end and try to match my hours and make sure everything is correct. Then we'll deal with it at that time. But for right now, this is an extra $700 or so. So I'm just going to pretty much budget that amount, and then whatever check is a little bit less than what we expect, I'm going to budget that amount. So with that being said, I will be expecting a separate paycheck probably next week or between now and then the next time I get paid. If that happens, then I'll do a separate paycheck breakdown and do a cash stuffing with that amount. If they end up tacking it on to the next paycheck, we'll just do it all together. I know it was a lot of rambling and I probably confused half of you guys. If you guys have any questions, just leave them down in the comment section. Alright, so that was that paycheck. That was the hospital paycheck. The next one was also budgeted at $1,500. This one was a little bit more. It came in at $1,696, which is great. We also had some other income that I will add. This one was right on target at $665, and that's exactly what we received at $665. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a little bit of math. The projected amount is $3,665. That is what we thought we were going to be working with, but instead we will be working with $4,601. And I know some of you guys may say, well, why would you spend it? Just save it if you know you're not supposed to get that amount. technically you are right. However, they have to calculate that overtime pay and all that other stuff that they didn't do. And I think some of that is going to be absorbed. Plus, they still owe me from a previous check when I did the incentive pay. So that's the check that I will receive separately. I don't know if it comes out of a different budget or whatnot, but I will get what they call a corrections check. I will get that separately. I'm just waiting for that to be deposited, and I'm hoping that will come sometime this week. If it doesn't come this week, she did say that it will probably be on the next paycheck. So it's supposed to be separate. So that's why I'm just going to go ahead and budget. It's not that much more over that I'm like, oh my gosh. Honestly, they still owe a lot of people for differentials and overtime pay and for preceptor pay and all that stuff, holiday pay. So it may end up evening out, or I may end up just owing like $100. So we're just going to go ahead and proceed with that as the income. All right, so let's move over to our expenses. What I'm going to do is write those down, and I will be right back.
Please wake me up, 'cause I'm slipping. Can't fight this feeling off no more.
All right, guys, I am back writing down our expenses. So let's go ahead and go over them. So as you know, we were just talking about they still owe me that money. So for one of our paychecks, I was going to put the mortgage away, the amount that we normally do, but I didn't. So instead, I was going to go ahead and take it out of this paycheck. So instead of paying the $11.80, I am going to bump that up to $2,000 just so we can play catch up for that check that was short last month. Just to remind you guys, December was a 3 paycheck month for us, so I was just trying to get ahead on the mortgage. Since we couldn't do that, it wasn't a big deal. I'm just trying to catch up on that now. So I am bumping that up to $2,000 just to kind of cover more of that. And then medical insurance is going to be $200. I thought they were going to increase the medical insurance, which they kind of did. It was just in one category. So the $200 that I normally budget already covers it. So that is a good thing. So I don't have to worry about that for all of 2022. Yay. For the truck payment, we're going to be doing our regular payment for this paycheck. And you guys know I am working on this debt right now. So this is just the fixed payment, and we're going to be adding money to that as far as our debt snowball. So we're going to go ahead and write the $460, so that's right on track. Student loans, it is $135. Shout out to one of you guys who mentioned in the comments on one of the other paycheck breakdowns. You guys told me that they had extended the deferment until May. I didn't realize that when I filmed, so that was some happy news that I got. So we won't have to worry about the rest of that payment until May of this year. So instead of us paying the $366, we are going to continue to pay the $135 and throw that money into the truck. So that is great. The life insurance, we are the same right now at $136. The electric and water bill came just a little under at $170. It was actually like $169 and some change, and I budgeted $175. So yay, we're under there. And then the solar panels was the same at $195. Okay, we got that all written down. I'm gonna go ahead and add up our amounts. All right, guys, so the projected amount is $2,481. Okay, and then the actual amount is $3,296. Okay, very good. That wasn't too bad. As you can see, the $3,296 is well over the amount that I originally was going to budget, but that was just going to be based on the lower end amounts and then not putting any extra towards the mortgage payment. And remember, I'm not paying the mortgage company that money. I'm just trying to put that into our checking account to build my buffer back up. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so let's move over to the cash envelopes. I'm going to write down the categories and then I'll be right back. All right, we are back. I have all the categories written down. I still have this $3,296 that I will need to deduct from the $4,601. So let's go ahead and do that now. So we are left with $1,305. I'm going to go ahead and write that right here. So let's go ahead and go through our cash envelopes. The biggest change that I have made for 2022 is our grocery budget. You guys know that this is one of those categories that I have been pretty strict with since we started our debt-free journey. And I pretty much do $100 per person per month. So we pretty much do $100 a week. Inflation is crazy right now. And I mean, I'm talking pretty much 95% of the items that I normally buy for my family, it is higher now. So yeah, things like the juice, the turkey meat, the bread, everything is just a little bit more expensive. And I just feel like I needed to go ahead and up the budget. So instead of doing $200 per paycheck, I'm going to be doing $250 per paycheck. All right, and then childcare, we are going to be doing the usual $100 because my family is awesome, so they're not charging us anything extra. Gas, we are still keeping it at $175 at the moment. And then miscellaneous is going to be $40. And we're actually going to drag $40 down for all the other spending categories. All right, let's go ahead and add all of these up. So we have the $250. And you guys, let me know where you guys are as far as state and if you had to up your grocery budget as well. I just kind of want to see if it's just like everywhere or if it's just in my area. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. Plus, y'all, the shelves are starting to be empty again. I am just grateful that I do have a backup pantry because some days or some weeks that I go grocery shopping, it's been crazy and I don't get what I need. And that's another reason why I wanted to up the grocery budget, just because the normal items that I buy, either they're out of stock or they're more expensive. So I do have to kind of change up the grocery list here and there. So I want to have enough money to cover that. But like I was saying, just let me know in the comment section if you guys are experiencing the same thing. All right, so let's go ahead and add this up. Okay, we have $685. I'm going to put that right down here. I'm going to subtract that $685 away from the $1,305. We are left with $620. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and write all of my sinking funds down and then I'll be right back.
Rise above the door, need all my challenges and search for my strength. I defeat them all, I'm never ever gonna hide no more. I come to love myself again, yeah. For all the things I didn't know, the pain, the hurt, I let it go.
All right, I'm back, and y'all already know I apologize for that handwriting. It's a struggle, but I'll go over each category. So the first one is home maintenance, if you can't read that one. I'm going to go ahead and just put $70 in this one. Okay, next up is car maintenance. Car maintenance is going to get $50. Pet care, we would do $10. Terminex, you guys, they took that money out of the count. So this envelope, we got to start building this one back up. I don't have a lot in the budget for this one, for this paycheck, so I am going to add a little bit. We'll do $15, but we will start to build this envelope back up for sure. Karate, we will do $30. Birthdays and gifts, $35. Back to school, we just started filling this envelope up. With this paycheck, I'm just going to start with $10. Something is better than nothing. Amazon, we also just started building this one back up, so $10 in there. Emergency prep, we're going to just add a 20. The girls, they will get $25 each, but I'm going to put 50 just because I put them together. I didn't have enough space. Household is going to get 25. Clothing, I'm just going to do 10. Vacation will get 20. And then beauty will get 50. This one is a little bit more because my husband just got a haircut and I am getting my hair done. I actually am going to be getting my hair done next week, so I needed to put a little extra in this envelope. Alright, so let's go ahead and see what the damage is. Okay, we got $405 that is going to go in the sinking funds. Not as much as the previous paychecks, as you can see. $13.30, $13.30, $13.70, and then this time a whole $405. But you know what? That's okay. Some paychecks are better than others. And last month your girl was working really hard. I was doing extra shifts. This time I'm taking it a little easy just because that really wore me out and I just totally forgot how it was to work full time. So if you don't know, I am a nurse. I work in a hospital overnight where I work 12 to 13 hour shifts. It just depends on how busy we are. I am on a floor that it fluctuates as far as census, and sometimes the acuity is higher than other days, so I don't always get off on time. There are times we need extra people and there are times that they don't. So I went part-time because I wanted to be home a little bit more with the girls and it was just starting to wear me out a bit. So last month I was pretty much working that full-time, those 3 shifts a week. Sometimes I would do 4 shifts in a week and then do 2 shifts the next week. It just kind of fluctuated, but I was tired. Then we had the holidays, so a lot of things were going on that I'm just like, oh. Then I had to take some CEU classes for my RN license. So it was just a really busy month and that really wore me out. So I'm like, I do miss the paycheck, miss the amount of money that I was able to receive, but we are okay. So I'm going to just be happy for my $405 that we're able to put in our sinking funds. Okay, so I am going to take that $620 minus the $405, and we are left with $215. Now, I totally did not write down the numbers for the 52-week saving challenge yet. I am slacking. When I went to go record the video, I realized that I didn't have anything to put in my glass for this year yet. So I'm just going to pick the first 2 numbers for this particular paycheck breakdown, and then by the time we do the next one, I should have those numbers available. Then by the time we do the next paycheck breakdown, I should have all those numbers in the jar, you know, cut up and ready to go. So I am just honestly going to just throw the least number out there, which is going to be 1. And then we're going to do the highest number out there, which is going to be 52. So I'm only going to put $53 out of this paycheck. I know it's not as exciting as pulling the numbers out of the jar, but we're just going to make it work for this pay period. Alright, so that's that. I am not going to put anything for debt. Y'all know I like to kind of reserve that for the last paycheck of the month. So let's go ahead and take that 53. Well, first it was $620 minus the $405, and then it was left $215. That's what we had left. So I'm going to minus the $53. So we're left with $162, and that is pretty much going to be our rollover. So what I'm going to do is fill in our summary. 3665 was the projected amount. $4,601 is what we actually received. Our expenses came in a little over at $3,296, and that is on purpose just because I want to put some extra money away to catch up with our buffer for the mortgage payment. So Don't worry guys, it's not as bad as it seems. The cash envelopes pretty much right on track at $685, no surprises. Sinking funds, same thing, really no surprises. I budget that amount based on what we had. And then the 52-week saving challenge, that one is $53. Okay, so let's go ahead and add this up and we should be left with $162. 4601 minus the 3296 minus the 685 minus 405 minus $53. And oh, hold on. Okay, so let me do that again. The 162 is what we should have left. 4601 minus 3296 minus 685 minus 405 minus 53. All right, so we are correct, and we have $162 left. And this should actually be right here. That didn't go to the debt, it went to our saving challenge. So $162, and then that is our rollover. Okay. So like I was saying in the beginning, this paycheck is a little different just because technically I was not supposed to get this much. So I am just going to roll with it, and then if they decide they want to deduct that amount from the next paycheck or the upcoming paycheck, because they told us it would take a few pay periods for them to get everything corrected. So the checks were a little bit more, so it came in at $4,601 for our total income. Our expenses end up being $3,296, and then our cash envelopes end up being $685. These two were a little bit increased just because I had to account for the prices going up in the grocery stores, and I wanted to build back up my buffer in my checking account. So you'll see I put a little extra money towards the mortgage. The cash envelopes were pretty plain and simple. That was exactly what I budgeted, and then I decided to pull the two numbers, and decided to go with numbers 1 and 52 for our 52-week saving challenge. And we are left with $162 to roll over into the next paycheck. So I'm going to need a total of $405 plus $685 plus $53 for our cash stuffing. So I will be stuffing $1,143. Alright guys, so that's it. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to hit that little thumbs up button. Don't forget to leave a comment, and most importantly, don't forget to hit that red subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm going to go ahead and set up for the cash stuffing. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.